Hello, y'all. Today we're going to talk about one of the most powerful crystal combinations I have ever used. I have not seen a lot of people use this for whatever reason. It can be because it is a little overpowering and can kind of slap you in the face, but I 100% love it. This specific crystal combination is for abundance, it's for waking you up, putting you in a completely new career path. I am showing you how to, with these crystals, manifest an entire new life and to get you a new career in shape. Let me explain a little bit more. When I say that, I am meaning you are going from a basic job, or let's say you're making minimum wage $10 an hour. We're now pushing you into that you're making $20 an hour, doing something that you enjoy. So simple, subtle, but big transformation, literally life changing. Okay, let's get into the crystals. Literally feel this, and now this is Libyan Desert Glass. Libyan, I don't know how to say that. Libya. I don't know, but it's desert glass. This is from ancient Egypt, and this is one of the most powerful crystals you'll see anybody ever use. Um, it is 29 million years old. So it has been used in ancient Egypt. It was actually found in King Tut's burial site. And ancient Egyptians used it and even called it the stone of God. So this dates back prehistorically to be extremely powerful and extremely useful. It's not a new thing at all. And till this day, in 2026, we still use this crystal pretty often. You'll see it likely paired with other crystals, and it is more of a beginner crystal when it comes to tektites and powerful crystals, meaning it is from a meteor. In my opinion, tektites are always the most powerful crystals because they're from other places in space, and so they vibrate on completely different levels than humans do and than anything on Earth does. So when it comes to big transformations, I always say choose some tektites because they're strong and powerful, and they're gonna get you from 0 to 100 real quick. Okay, compared to some of our other tektites, this one gives you more of a gentle transition. It's been known to motivate you. So essentially, when it comes to whatever you're doing, keep this in a journal maybe. um I'm going to use business as a example for all of these because that's the title of the video kind of. So if you're starting a new business, when you're making your logo, when you're adding a listing, when you're looking for clients, when you're simply just researching a product, keep this near you. You don't have to do anything directly, but you can also meditate it with it in your hand, and it's very powerful. Keep it in your workspace, keep it near your computer, keep it with your journal, or keep it on your person when you're going to the job maybe you hate. So it'll shift and let it know, hey, this is what we're doing now. We're not taking this somewhere. We're going here now. Okay, on to our next crystal. One more thing, actually, I forgot to say, it's also been known to give you prosperity and to give you memories of a past life, which is crazy to me. So, depending on how you want to use it, you can unlock a lot here just having it near you. But also, with your motivation, it helps with prosperity. So, that's another factor there. I have these I have the crystals in a bag that I can't see, but I can literally feel them, so I know what they are. So this is a Herkimer Diamond. Okay. Oof. Oof. This one's a lot more simple. It's found in New York and simply amplifies energy. Okay. So when you're working with your powerful crystals and you're like, this is strong, but I want to times it by two, that's your Herkimer Diamond. It also helps with a sense of clarity. So when you're doing something like starting a business, it can be very confusing. You don't know what type of business to start. You don't know what product to release first. You don't know if this should be your logo or that should be your logo. That's when this comes in. It gives you that sense of clarity and just straightness and clears any energetic blocks that you have. It also attracts abundance. So we're on a roll here for attracting money in general. Keep it near your workspace or near your goals. If you have like a vision board or, like I said, your laptop, your journal, both of these crystals can be kept near them. Now, me personally, I like to carry crystals on my person. So if you are carrying them daily, cleanse them daily. That's what I will say. And if they're in your workspace, you'll do more like every 3 to 4 days. It's not everyday type of thing. Um, so basically, Herkimer Diamond takes whatever crystal you have and times it by two. Mm, Another thing about Herkimer Diamond is make sure you find a good piece of it. I worked with this crystal for months on a smaller piece, and I simply felt no connection with it and had no results. While this one I worked with for days and immediately got results because I just felt more connected to it. It can be kind of expensive. I believe this piece was only 30 bucks, which is not bad for a pretty big piece, and it is one of the cheaper crystals on this list. We literally just grabbed my favorite, most controversial thing ever, Moldavite. Let's talk about it. Moldavite is around 15 million years, so it's not as old as the ancient Egyptian Libyan Desert Glass, but it's still pretty old. It comes from the Czech Republic, so pretty far from that. It is extremely controversial. It's been known to cause chaotic results. On TikTok and on the internet, they will say Moldavite will rip your life apart. But here's the thing they don't tell you about Moldavite. Moldavite, yes, it will rip your life apart. That is its job. Moldavite is meant to remove obstacles from your life. But here's the thing, Moldavite is also meant to bring you to a higher path. So Moldavite essentially rips things out of your life that you don't know they're not supposed to be there, and brings you in new opportunities. So for example, if I'm working my minimum wage job and all of a sudden I get fired, okay, I'm in tears. I'm like, dude, I worked here for 12 years. Like, how am I going to feed my family? And then as soon as I'm about to go broke, I get the idea to start selling bracelets and I sell out in 20 minutes. Something like that is what will happen. You have to keep a really good positive attitude with this because it will literally have you saying, multiply, why did you do that to me? And it's because you don't, a lot of times don't know the path you're going to take. And so it feels chaotic. It feels crazy. It feels like it's destroying everything in your life. But in reality, it is bringing you to somewhere better and something better. So with that being said, make sure you always give Moldavite a job. Do not just carry it on you and not do anything. Make sure it's for a specific need, or else it's just going to rip your entire life and you might not be ready for it. Gotta be very careful with Moldavite. You want to slowly incorporate it in if you've never used it before. If you used it before, meh. You can get something called Moldavite flush, which is where you get headaches, you're extremely tired. And this is simply because it's such a strong crystal. I didn't think this was a real thing until I started using Moldavite, and it is definitely a real thing. If you're using it for sleep work, also be careful depending on who you are. Me personally, I never had issues with it, but some people tend to get nightmares if they use it. But not least, it's a very common crystal used kind of everywhere, and you've probably heard of it even if you don't know much about crystals. Pyrite, also known as fool's gold, people used to think it was literally gold and it forms with gold. So in general, it's pretty popular. Sorry. Okay, ignore it. I just started using Vaseline. You know when you like go a couple days without chapstick and then you start wearing it again, but like the first couple days your lips like literally just peel. So I'm literally going through that right now. So that's what's happening. So literally don't talk about my lips. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, people used to think pyrite was gold. It's known for boosting your confidence and promoting your willpower. I am looking at my computer where I have this information written so I won't forget any of it if you're wondering where my eyes are darting to. It's also used for protection. So a lot of people keep it in certain spaces. Once again, I'm gonna say your work area, your journal, whatever. Mostly those places. I have a pretty small piece. I also have a bigger piece, but I feel like it's too big because I'm already carrying around this in my pocket. So I use my smaller piece. There's some beautiful pieces of it on Etsy that you can get. It's pretty simple. There's not a lot about it. It's known for abundance. I believe it's a crystal that you should not put in water. When it comes to cleansing these crystals, all four of them, I do smoke cleanse, period. Incense or a sound cleanse. That's it. I don't do salt or water. Charging them, I use selenite. You can use the sun, maybe. Be careful with that. I think Moldavite doesn't do well in the sun. So yeah, I use selenite and affirmations to charge it. After Now, after all that info, you're probably wondering, how do I actually use these crystals? What are you talking about? How do I get my business? I'm going to tell you 3 ways you can. These are some of my favorite manifestation methods, and I'm going to explain them simply, easily, and quickly. First off, affirmations. This is one of the most basic things you'll hear people say. Affirm, affirm, but it's like, what do you mean? Choose 10 affirmations. Either you wrote them or you can use a YouTube video. When you write them, your brain responds a little bit quickly, but it can be repetitive for some people, and some of us just don't have the time to sit around writing affirmations. Let's be real. When you wake up in the morning, you're getting dressed in the mirror, play those 10 affirmations, keep those crystals near you. Before this, cleanse them. I like to cleanse them daily because I feel like it helps reinstate in your self-conscious mind that you're doing this every day. Okay, it makes it really click that it's happening. So I recommend cleansing them every day. You don't have to. If you forget, it's not a big deal. Cleanse the crystals. Pull up your YouTube video or your affirmations that you recorded yourself saying, and play it while you're getting dressed, while you're doing your hair in the mirror, while you're doing your makeup, whatever. Play it and have those crystals right next to you. Then the second time of day, when you're at lunch, when you're driving to work, whatever, depending on what kind of shift you work, whatever that evening break is for you, do it again. You don't have to be in the mirror, obviously, but it does really help to be in the mirror. Mirror affirmations are extremely powerful. But just listen to your affirmations again, have your crystals in your pocket, hold them, feel it for a second, move on. Before you go to bed, one more time. And just go to sleep like normal. If you want to work with them while you sleep, you can't sleep with them under your pillow. If you're like, nope, this is too powerful, too strong, don't. It's very simple. Number 2, and this is not for everyone, is sleep tapes. Sleep tapes is essentially talking affirmations while you're asleep. You can get these on YouTube, or you can pay for custom sleep tapes, or you can even make your own. So basically, while you're asleep, these affirmations are playing over and over again. And I believe usually with sleep tapes, it's like 1 or 2 affirmations. So it's very repetitive, but you fall asleep to it. This is known as a method, I believe, from Neville Goddard, one of those big manifestation methods, super popular. But like for me, instance, I hate sleep tapes. I don't want to hear any talking while I'm trying to sleep. It irritates me. If you're doing that, incorporate these under your pillow. And like I said, at the 1 by 1, they're strong, powerful crystals, and you don't want to use them all at once. If you're using them at night, I recommend Herkimer Diamond and maybe your Moldavite. That's my night combination. And your day combination could be the Pyrite and the Libyan Desert Glass. If you're having nightmares, remove the Moldavite, and then you can use the other 3. Some people just don't respond well to Moldavite when it comes to sleep. But like I said, I've never had that issue. I love Moldavite when I sleep. Last but not least, a very underrated method of manifestation, I feel like, is your subliminals. There are 2 types of ways you can use subliminals. Okay, you can either use a 7-hour subliminal when you go to sleep, or you can use 3 short 1 to 5 minute subliminals 3 to 5 times a day. So it just kind of depends on your schedule. What do you want to do? How do you want to use it? When you're doing subliminals, they are very passive. So sometimes if you're like a person that wants to do more than 1 method a day, like you can do affirmations and subliminals, but just make sure you stay hydrated. Your brain is literally taking in thousands of affirmations when you're listening to a subliminal. So make sure you are staying hydrated, getting plenty of sleep, that type of thing. If you're listening to the 3 to 5 subliminals a day, keep the same subliminal. Keep your crystals with you. Every time you hear it, just hold your pocket or whatever, if it's on your person or sit in your workspace, whatever, just hold those crystals. If you're doing it when you sleep, I would say that's another under your pillow method. And then like if you have issues with Moldavite, just carry that on during the day. But make sure you charge it, tell it what to do. Yeah, those are 3 ways you can use this crystal combination to change your entire life. Let's look at the combination one more time. Herkimer Diamond, Pyrite, Libyan Desert Glass, and Moldavite. If you use this and you get progress, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Until next time.